Hi guys, thank you so much for checking out my third video in this little project of mine called Grunn, which is an indie horror survival horror game with the PS1 aesthetics, PS1 style graphics of the 90s and early 2000s. And of course, I already made a couple of videos before and a bunch of content on Instagram. I haven't got a lot to share with you today, although you might say that I do. Last time I lost my running animation, I created a new one and he's able to run again, as you can see. Also, I am working on a female character and I was having some fun with her. This is not going to be her final look. This is basically just her mesh, her normal body, and I just changed her arms and torso and pelvis pink. She's not wearing any clothes actually. It's just yeah, it's just a pelvis. And I was having some fun with her the other day, making her dance. And she has a rigid body on her now, so if you knock her over, then she's she's. I love that. She's kind of like having some spasms. So let me just rush her out of the screen for us. There we go. She's gone. You can still she's gone. Good. Also, I have decided that I'm gonna change my controls because there are some problems with these controls. As you can see, these are not tank controls. This is kind of inspired by Metal Gear Solid from the PS1. So you can fluently move left to the right and turn around like that. It's pretty responsive. However, the issue here is that if I change camera angles like this, the controls get inversed. So if I run towards the camera, they get inversed, and it's kind of frustrating. I cannot get used to it, and I don't like it. So I'm thinking to go for tank controls anyway. But then I will actually make use of the tank control style, kind of a mix between, yeah, I would say Silent Hill and Resident Evil 3. Because in Resident Evil 3, you're able to quickly turn around with one press of a button. It kind of turns around like that. So I'm definitely going to implement that. I'm also going to have both shooting and fighting mechanics, and there will be some type of lock-on mechanic. Otherwise, it's going to get quite frustrating. If you do not have that, you might miss your punches and kicks all the time. It's kind of frustrating. With shooting on a distance, it's not so bad because you can, keep a larger area to shoot at, and still pretend that the zombie gets hit, just like Resident Evil 1 and 2 had this huge, what do you call that? Uh, collision field, right? It had this huge collision box around it, so even though you didn't aim exactly at it, you could still shoot it. But for punches, it will look funny if you miss, right, and then still take damage. So I'm gonna implement some kind of lock-on mechanic for that. So besides having a running animation now, I didn't really add anything to the scene. I tweaked the PS1 settings a little bit because there was some warping going on in the buildings. As you can see, there's still some warping. Um, yeah, the windows are not straight anymore. I know there was warping in the PS1, but I don't want my windows to get all messed up like that, you know? So that's that. Something else very exciting is I have actually been working on my first soundtrack for the game, and I would like you to listen to it. It's about a minute and 10 seconds, so if you don't like it, you can skip ahead for 1 minute and 10 seconds. It's basically a horror themed soundtrack, obviously, because I'm working on a survival horror game. And it's kind of inspired by those safe rooms that you had in Resident Evil. Usually you get this sort of peaceful music with some tension that, as soon as you step outside, you're going to be, effed. And basically that's what I started off with, but then I ended up giving it a lot more attention, so I might as well just use it as the intro song for the menu where you can choose between new game and start, and there will be a voice also saying uh, Grunn, but then I will let someone else do it because my voice kind of sucks for that kind of purpose. Anyway, listen to it. yeah, so that's basically the song that I've been working on today. I think I spent around 2.5 to 3 hours on it. So yeah, so what do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. Obviously this is subject to change since I haven't worked on it for very long. You can see I didn't even bother naming any of these instruments. If you're curious what I used, I basically got a couple of contact libraries. For instance, well, this one I'm not using in the song, but I got a Genesis Children Choir that's singing one of the lower notes. I got the labs from Spitfire Audio, which is free. And then I have some Spitfire original intimate strings. I got this thing called Whispers, which was also free. And then another Whispers. Then I got this one, Horror Box. Which has those kind of sounds. And then I got this one, which is really cool. Basically got those kinds of sounds. And a bunch of other ones. You know, there's a couple of choices here. This one's also free. I got another contact one. This is for contact complete 12, I believe I have, and Thrill comes with that. It's very awesome. You can kind of modulate this so that the sound becomes you know, that there's motion in the sound. It's pretty cool. Another Thrill. I also got this one. It sounds pretty good as well. Creepy Piano. Yeah, it has a lot of reverb and release on that. And that's basically it. You know, I got this one again, and then I got a BBC Symphony Orchestra. There's one string in there, but I believe it's not used that much. So yeah, that's just basically the song I've been working on. Another cool thing that I've been working on is this artwork. I just worked on this actually right before recording this video. Spent about an hour or 1.5 on this. So I created a logo, and I just couldn't help myself but adding this PlayStation logo and the actual, the sticker that we have in the PAL region in Europe. We always had these stickers on the boxes. I'm not sure if the US version had that too, but here in Europe we did. It's pretty cool. The boxes used to look like that. It's a kind of thicker jewel box, not those thin ones that you find in the US versions of PlayStation 1 games. But yeah, basically what you see here is also subject to change. Basically the male character and the female character, he is kind of pulling her by the arm to help her escape the city. And in the background you can see some of the city and the church tower where a lot of the misery and chaos will be surrounded around. And then you also see them in the back facing each other, which kind of tells you that their relationship is also in danger, not just their lives but also their relationship. So it's gonna be a really awesome game with a very in-depth story, a lot of interesting mechanics. You'll be able to pull her by the arm and help her escape the city, let go of her, ask her to hide somewhere when there's zombies nearby so you can take care of them first. There will be stealth elements like sneaking past cars, crawling under cars, hiding in the shadows, these kind of things, or distracting zombies by throwing a bottle or can somewhere near them, these kind of things. It's gonna be really awesome. So yeah, that's something I also created. And then besides that, I also want to show you some fun videos I made, which are on Instagram. So you can see this is my Instagram after, well, I think I've been on Instagram for a month now. I have 116 followers. Please do follow me if you haven't already. I really want to grow my channel. As you can see, I made a couple of videos in the last couple of days, and I will just show them to you. So this one is really funny. Look.
2, 1.
did you think? Like, I was messing around with this character the other day, and well, I wasn't in a very serious mood, and I didn't have a lot of time, so I kind of just thought make her run like Naruto would be funny, you know. So I created this, and then I just put her into Unity to see how that would work, and then I just thought it looked so funny, so I added some Formula One, you know, F1 car sounds to it. So, and then the other video that I created is this one, because actually, before I do that, I want to show you something. So basically what I did is I created a fighting pose. And basically my inspiration for it is Wing Chun Kung Fu. Because I practice it myself, and not many games are using this fighting method, which I think is a shame because it's pretty cool. So I figured, why not use this in my game? So he got the fighting stance from Wing Chun. I mean, subject to change. I mean, look at my hands. I accidentally deleted some vertexes, so now my hands are all messed up. So I have to create new hands. There are also some issues with the raincoat. It's very hard to animate, especially the bottom part. So I will redo the entire character at some point. This is just for now a placeholder, and later on I will recreate it. It will look very similar, but yeah, I will just rebuild it from scratch once my skill have improved. So you can see it has a fighting pose, and it also has a actual Wing Chun combo right now. So let me just put this on 89 frames and play it for you. So he punches, kick, 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 kick. Oh, well, I mean, punch, 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 and then a kick at the end. This is a very Wing Chun kind of punch. You know, it's called a chain punch, like that, and then he kicks. I think it's pretty cool. You can also see that he's kind of moving forward with his feet, because that's the Wing Chun way of moving. Yeah, so I got that, and then I also had some other animations that look very crappy, like pushing a zombie off you. So something like that. I mean, it's not great, I know. And then today I was also working on crouching. So because you'll be able to crouch and crawl on the floor, so you'll be able to crouch to kind of hide behind something, and then from the crouching position, just like in Metal Gear Solid, you can go into the crawling position. So I think I was I was working on that too. With the coat, look at the raincoat. You know what I mean. It's yeah, it's not great. So I was trying to have him crawl, but the raincoat made it look all janky, and so I'll have to redo that. But for now, it's a nice placeholder just to put the actual animations and controls in place. And that's basically all that I have for you today. So let me just play this one more time while I finish talking. I will continue to work on this in the coming weeks. I will probably recreate this character. I will also be changing my controls to tank controls with a quick turn. I will try to implement the crouching crawling mechanic. There will also be a mechanic that you can sidestep left to the right against a wall or a car or something like that. And yeah, hopefully she won't fall over like that anymore, like a football. Yeah. Oh, and also, actually this idea that I have here, right, with the running, made me think, since, you know, I have to create milestones for myself, since I'm a complete beginner at programming and creating games altogether. I thought maybe it's a good first milestone to make a kind of silly running game first, using some of the mechanics. And then later on, as I go, I can add to it and create the actual game that I have in mind. So this running game could be like an endless runner, where you run away from zombies that are chasing you, and you won't be able to run backwards, only forwards. And then there will be obstacles you have to try not trip over. If you trip, you're dead. and there will be items you can pick up, like silly items, like a plastic can, a rubber duck, or a football or plates or whatever, and then throw them at the zombies behind you to slow them down. So I think it will be very funny if you can choose between a couple of characters, and you'll play this on Android and iPhone. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to share with you guys. Let me know what you think. Also, let me know what you think about the song. Subscribe, click the bell icon, and also check me out on Instagram, because that's where I share my stuff first. So if you want to know the latest, that's where you have to be. Thank you so much. See you next time.